fans, welcome to Birds, Bands, and Baloney with Pitz and Fred. I'm Pitz Quattrone.
And I'm Fred Moore. How's it going, man?
All right, Freddie. Good to see you.
You as well? Things going good up there in Vermont?
Yeah, it's another sunny day. I feel like it's sunny Vermont, and welcome.
Yeah, the weather has been surprisingly nice here too, but you can never tell what it's like down here. It's the bunker.
So, man, we survived our pilot episode, and we're getting rave reviews from around the globe that folks are digging what we're doing. So we're just going to keep on going. And here's our second episode.
Well, let's roll with it, man. I know I had a heck of a good time doing the first one, and I've already been having fun just during the sound check. So.
Excellent. And thank you for the wonderful graphics that you add in post-production.
Oh, yeah, you bet, man. That's half the fun.
All right. So should we just jump right into the bird section?
Right into it, baby, because there's a lot to talk about.
Okay, let's get ready. It's time for Birds Ball, football talk. Excellent.
Woo! Yeah. All right.
So what's at the top of your list, man?
Boy, what a week it's been, I tell you. Lot going on, man. Well, first off, I know that I listened to the Howie and Nick Sirianni press conference here in Philadelphia on WIP, and it was pretty painful.
You're a brave soul.
The new guy's like, rah, 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 ha, ha, ha. You know, it's like, dude, reel it in. Do your rah-rah on the field, okay? They already have sound bites of this guy saying silly stuff during the press conference. To even beat myself further over the head, I listened to the Carson Wentz press conference that was a couple hours later that was really equally painful just because he really didn't say a whole lot. He did speak out. One thing that he did say, well, you know, a lot of this stuff wasn't what I was saying at first. That's what I got out of it. You know, like a lot of these reports aren't true, but some of them are, you know, stuff like that. But as I said before, he must have said that 100 times. Like that was his tagline. And the restructuring of Brandon Graham and Chase and Kelsey's contracts so they can stay in town. Yes.
Yeah.
Lane Johnson staying. They did not have to restructure his contract.
Cool. Yeah, well, last time we talked about like which guys are probably going to be gone, and Brandon Graham was definitely at the top of that list, and Lane Johnson, I don't know. And then the other one was Kelsey. Was he going to retire? So Kelsey is back. He's not retiring, and they restructured Brandon Graham's contract, and I'm so psyched. That's the best thing. I'm so psyched that he's back with the team because I love that guy. He's such a good person and total teammate and a comedian. Agreed.
Yes. And just a great player, you know, he's and a good leader in the locker room. You need that.
Yeah.
You know, you need that veteran leadership because they're going to be getting a bunch of new guys. And there were some cuts, of course.
And our favorite short made of glass receiver, Deshaun Jackson. And we just heard that he signed with the LA Rams. So, hey, good luck to you. Hope it works out.
Good luck. That's what I say, too. Take care of that hammy. Stretch that thing, would you?
All right. So those guys are gone. New guys. Actually, so Jalen Mills and Nelson Aguilar, two former Birds, are now turncoats going with the Patriots.
Well, and Jalen Mills says he's going to keep his hair green.
Ooh, wow. I wondered how that's going to go over with the New England fans.
That's going to float like a rock. Could you imagine if he kept his hair blue and then came here?
No, that would not fly. That in New England, that's probably going to last like 2 or 3 games and then have so much pressure on him, he's going to dye his hair blue or red, and then it's going to be like this big, fabulous event press conference thing.
Especially if he plays like he did here.
I don't care what color your hair is. Get off the field.
Why don't you just give the ball to the guy? Yeah.
It's a bold move, though. We're using you going into a new town and you're putting your old team's colors on. That's I'm not sure how wise that is.
Well, especially the one of the few teams that actually beat you in the Super Bowl.
That's rubbing it in. Wait, is this guy really on our team or not? We'll see. That's the Jalen Mills story up in New England. And then there's a new guy in town that we can be excited about. Who's the guy from the Vikings?
Anthony Harris. And he's 29 years old, safety. And the Eagles signed him to a 1-year deal. And I think this is a great move. I've been looking up some of this guy's plays and stuff. He was hurt a couple he was hurt last year for a couple games, but nonetheless, his track record's great.
He's the starting safety, and he's going to be opposite Rodney McLeod, who's trying to come back from an ACL. So it's good to have Harris in the fold, as they say, and back there ball hawking. I think 2 years ago, he either led the NFL in interceptions or was tied for the lead for interceptions 2 years ago, not too long ago. So hopefully he bounces back from that injury and works some of his magic this coming year, at least for this year. Yeah, there's a connection, though, because I think the new Eagles defensive coordinator used to be the defensive backs coach in Minnesota. So he's familiar with Harris. He worked with him for, I think, 2 or 3 years. And it's cool to have a defensive coordinator who specializes in defensive backs because, as you say, that's a horrendous area on the Eagles defense.
Oh, I can't remember the new coordinator's name.
Gannon.
That's right, Gannon. Wasn't he a quarterback?
That's Rich Gannon. Different guy.
Another guy who's getting a shot first time. So we'll see how these guys do with Coach Rah Rah. I mean, I have nothing to go on with this guy other than the press conference. They were actually 15 minutes late to the press conference, which is, you're going to make the Philly media wait 15 minutes?
Hey, what the hell are you doing? I mean, so what the hell's happening? Zach Ertz, he's still on the Eagles.
He was supposed to go to Buffalo, and apparently Howie wants too much for him. And now there's an article, Howie waited too long. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
And then there's the question of the quarterback.
Saving it for the end. We only have one, but bing, ding, 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 breaking news. This just in, hot off the press. We're going to go to Triple B reporter Fred Moore with some information about Howie and Jeffy and their fantasizing football tendencies. Fred, what do you got?
Well, here we are live back for Triple B. Joe Flacco is the backup quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, signed to a 1-year deal. Now, that was the big news. Now, that means, not a fan, and we'll get into that later. But the big news is Howie trades down from number 6 to number 12. And I'm going to sum it up because it's kind of complicated. There were 3 teams involved. Basically, Miami trades the number 12 overall pick and their 4th round pick, which is number 123 overall, and a 2022 first round pick to Philadelphia for the number 6 overall pick and a 5th round pick at number 156.
Ooh,
so that's the summary. Now, San Francisco was involved with Miami. They're looking to get a quarterback. Eagles were apparently looking to trade up to number 3. And then they realize they want this kid, another quarterback, but they realize he's going to go in the number 2. So it looks like the Jets are going to try to get him. So
let me break in right there, Fred. If there's some positive news in this report up to this point, I have to say the positive news is at least Howie and Jeffy realized it was going to cost too much to jump to the number 2 spot, had some type of sanity in their head and say, oh, maybe we shouldn't like forfeit the entire future of this organization for the next 3 years to make this pick.
Yes. And also you have to look at it this way. Howie is putting himself into the future with these future picks. They're going to have 3. If Carson Wentz does play 75% of the touches in Indianapolis this next year or this year, and if he plays 70% and they make the playoffs, we get that second rounder that we have goes to a first. So then we'll have 3 first rounders, but who knows what can happen between now and the draft. He could trade some of those away. We don't know what this guy's thinking, but in some ways this is great, but it's not going to be great for this year.
Right. It's a long-term view. And like you said, it's lining Howie up for future employment with the Eagles.
Right. Look how smart I am.
Howie!
That's pretty much the dumbed down version. Like I could go through the whole thing. Like I wrote it all out. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, there's lots of information in this. And like you say, San Francisco was involved and Miami jumps to 12 and then 6. And it was all kind of crazy moves. But that's the boiled down version as far as Eagles fans are concerned.
Exactly. The best was when I texted you. You were like, what? This is too big a news. And here we are. We had to update the show. Literally, the show was in the can. It was
right. I was in the parking lot and I got that text from you. I was like, all right, what the hell's happening? Howie, the maneuverer, fantasy footballer, AKA general manager of an NFL team, is making moves.
My first knee-jerk reaction was, what in the heck is this guy doing now? Yeah. But at the same time, now after I've looked at it and read like literally 7 articles about it, all these other different people's view on it, it could be good in the long term. Yeah, well, this year's going to be tough.
Right. They miss out on the top tier talent on this draft. They move back to 12, which is not the end of the world. And there's still talent there, but it's not such as a surefire, if there is such a thing in the draft, moving up or moving back from 6 to 12. They set up next year, they get an extra first round pick, and then they move from like 4th to 5th round this year. So there's a lot of moving parts. And if you want to look at the long-term view, it's a good move. Right now for this year, it really just signals Jalen Hurts is our quarterback. And this is kind of, this is definitely a rebuilding year, and we're going to have to look at it as that.
Right. And then if Jalen Hurts doesn't have a good year this year, which it's shaping up that he's not, since he's not going to have the help that he really needs, they're going to be looking for another one next year. So
yeah, right. And they'll either pick one or do package some draft picks and then move up and maneuver. That's a whole different conversation. But at least they have all those picks and a situation where they can make some moves next year to get the guy that they really think is their man for the future. And that's the faulty thinking right there.
Right.
Leaving it up to Howie and Jeffy to pick the right guy.
That's what I was just going to say. You can have 8 first round picks and you've got a moron at the board picking them. What's the point?
Try your luck.
Try your luck.
All right, Fred, we got to get out of here. We're going to talk with you, everyone listening and watching. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you next time. This has been a ding, 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 breaking news just off the press. Triple B report for your bird section.
Looking to the future.
Oh, man. Okay, so what's our next segment?
All right, next segment is We're going to go right into the baloney aspect of things. And this is what I'm calling the grumpy old dude department. And another thing, this is our moment, Pitz. This is our moment, as we've earned this as dudes that have grown old together. And I'm going to tell you what it is right now. Damn it. Here's the thing. People do not read things all the way through. And I don't understand this. Now, even going back to when we were in bands and we used to actually send out mailers and people would read them. I used to get phone calls then. When are you playing? What time? What? Or like now, okay, back then, okay, fine. I could see like you have a piece of paper. Oh, whoops, I lost it. Okay, fine. That was a little more understandable. But now when the information is right there in front of your face and you have to just go like this and read the information that is right in front of your face, and you don't do it. You start asking questions in the thread. What time are you guys playing? Oh, is Bill playing too? You know.
What's the date?
Right. So
read the information. Hello.
Right. I wish I was exaggerating, and I'm not going to name any names. But another classic example of this is a friend of mine sent me a text after our pilot episode, and I said I worked at Da Vinci's, and I even put it on the bottom of the screen, Da Vinci's, and then she sent me a text. I didn't know you worked at Capri's. So I said, no, it's Da Vinci's. And she goes, oh, the only Da Vinci's I know of is in Harleysville. Well, that solves everything, doesn't it?
Wrong town.
The best part of this story is that I tried to text you the story about this, and I accidentally texted it to her. So I busted myself busting on her.
Man, that's
oh my goodness, it's me.
That's gold.
No, that's pretty much my thing. And also, you kids out there, stop with the text abbreviating. Stop it.
And another thing.
Another thing. Stop with the damn text abbreviating. Write it out.
What drives me nuts is when there's like 3 or 4 letters, and it's like, what the hell is that? And a lot of times what I do is I copy and paste it and put it on Google and ask Google, what does this mean?
That takes longer than just writing it out. I mean, come on. Think about the old man on the other end. When you send me, are you, and then like 17 emojis that follow that. I don't care.
How about this one? Use your words.
How about that one? How about grammar? Remember grammar?
English.
Kind of a lost art at this point.
Even if it's American English, please.
And throw me a freaking bone.
Oh man, yeah. So expand the vocabulary just a little, or at least use the vocabulary.
It's there for you. Help you to help me or something. Just come on, help us out. I can't read this. If I have to start Googling what the hell you're writing me, stop writing.
Yeah.
And another thing, last thing, on the same subject, LOL. I call bullshit. You did not laugh out loud. No, you didn't. That's all, Pitz. I'm done.
All right, we'll segue into this one. That's right off of that. They're laughing all the way to the bank. And this is a Carlin. It's a Carlin thing. And but it reminded me of that. He's like, have you ever actually seen anyone laugh all the way to the bank?
No,
I have not.
never.
All right, man. I got another thing.
Please.
What drives me nuts sometimes, it happens here in Vermont, probably not around Philly because it's a whole different vibe driving. But here, sometimes people, when you're coming up on an intersection or a situation where the driver who has the right of way stops and lets the other person come through as a nice gesture. Okay, I appreciate the goodwill, but you know what? You're breaking up the flow and rhythm of traffic. That's what causes accidents.
Right there. I agree. Stop being so damn nice. You're being rotten to everyone else.
Just go with the natural rhythm, the natural flow of traffic, the correct right of way. No problems. I appreciate your gesture of being nice. I'm a nice guy, but I don't want to cause an accident. So
doesn't make sense.
So that's my inclusion of and another thing.
That's a good one. Get no argument here, my friend.
All right, so now we move on to the Baloney Awards.
All right, now let's see what we got here. Oh, we got a couple of good ones. This is another new segment that we're working on here, and it kind of wrote itself. Now, the first one goes to Jeffy, our friend, for the Crowbar Award, the Baloney Crowbar Award for the most flyers passed out at the Kmart parking lot in 1995. And he also wins in 2021 for talking and yelling during the Brandon Taz Niederauer band concert at the Sellersville Theater that I went to with him. He couldn't seem to control himself with the amount of that he had. And so now it is forever captured on CD. And this award spans 27 years. So congratulations, Jeffy. You got on this.
He's been working hard for decades on that accomplishment.
Decades. But this, he earned it fair and square. And he's forever. It's funny. I sent him, first thing I did when I came home after I sent him the recording, I said, this sounds great, except for the drunk guy next to me that wouldn't keep quiet.
Oh!
And then award number 2 goes to Mr. Chris for the 1995 Flusher and Soiler Award. The Flusher, best performance for a pizza flushed down the toilet in 1995.
A double award for Mr. Chris, shining in 2 categories.
2. Count them.
So we don't need to get into the Soiler details, but tell us about the flushing of pizza possibility that he tried.
Well, here, this is pretty good. Pitz and I'll never forget this. I actually did forget this, but the next award goes to the guy that reminded me, but we'll get to that in a second. Now, this is good stuff because my brother, he got drunk one night with his friends and came home and decided to cook a Celeste pizza in the oven. And in the interim, while it was cooking, he went outside and smoked the bowl. So by the time he comes back in, the pizza is burned to a crisp because he forgot about it, watched TV, whatever, came upstairs like, oh no. So instead of like throwing the pizza outside, he has the brilliant idea to flush it down the toilet. Now, okay.
So how big is this thing?
It's like the size of the inside of the toilet. So I'm going to put up a picture to show you about the differential right here.
Mr. Chris, the flusher.
The flusher. I couldn't believe I found this visual because it's that good. So apparently this must be a thing. I think I gotta give Mr. Chris credit for starting it. So he takes the pizza and instead of breaking it up, I know I'll flush it down the toilet. So instead of breaking it up like a normal person, like this is normal, he takes the whole thing and goes, boom, and leaves it, flushes it. All the water kind of flows over top of the pizza inside the toilet. And he leaves it, goes to bed. Next morning, my mother, she's a bit of a neatnik. She's cleaning the house. She goes into the bathroom and looks at the toilet. Here overnight, the pizza had like turned to this like goo that had gone down inside the toilet. She had to get it out, coat hanger, like the whole deal. Pitz and I were working together at the time, and we were working with my brother. And I was like, listen to what this guy did. And Pitz was just like, the flusher. So this award has been coming for a long time, 27 years. Congratulations.
Another multi-decade accomplishment.
And last but not least, another double accomplished. Boy, what an accomplishment that is. Moving right along, the Reminder Award goes to Larry Gottenberg for reminding me of the Flusher and Soiler Award from 1995. And one of the funniest phone calls I've had of the year was to you when I told you, do you remember the Flusher and the Soiler? And you sort of did. And then I told you, and we both laughed. I think it was the hardest I'd laughed all year. Just brought you back to that moment.
Oh my God. Those are two top awards. I mean, and combined for one guy, that's a Hall of Fame accomplishment.
That's my brother.
Oh man, that's gold. Head on over to the music lounge for a moment.
All right. Change my hoodie here. That was
yes
in there. That rah, 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 rah.
All right, so now it's time for the band section of the program.
Yes, indeed it is. And we're going to need you to kick this one off, my friend.
Okay.
If you knew your schoolwork like you did that goddamn rock, you'd not give me a straight A student. Straight A student.
Okay, so what happened in between last time and this time is I released a Harv Darvis Inferior Lounge Singer St. Patrick's Day video special.
I watched it. I saw it.
What did you think?
I thought it was great. I loved it. I really did. Those guys are hilarious too.
I teamed up with some friends over in the UK, and we did this little shtick thing for about 25 minutes or so. And Harv Darvis was in a situation where he needed to audition for a St. Patrick's Day gig, which he did that, and then all bedlam ensues.
I love the one dude that's like the boss with the fake mustache and the wig. Killed me. I love that he had all your records, and he had all your records and
right. Harv Darvis records, not mine.
Right. All of Harv Darvis's records. Right.
Yeah. He had the Christmas album, the Halloween special.
Summertime with Harv. Was that another one? Like there was a whole list of them that he had.
Yeah. He's got the collection. So if folks watching this want to see any of my videos, the Harv Darvis stuff, my own music, the Music Zone, it's a show that I do. Just check out my YouTube channel, which is going on the bottom of your screen as we speak. And speaking of the Music Zone with Pitz, it's a TV show that I produce up here in Vermont at the local community access that goes around to different cable networks, and also on my YouTube channel. So the latest episode was released last week, and that's with Chad Hollister, who's an incredible performer, nice guy. He's performed all over the country. He's a Vermont dude. He lives 10 miles away. He's opened shows for like Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, Paul Simon. He's this Vermont guy, and he's pretty well known, and he's got these great gigs and performs around the country. Comes back to, he's my guest on the Music Zone with Pitz this month, also on my YouTube channel, if you want to check that one out.
That's awesome.
So that's what I have other things planned, but I can't let the cat out of the bag right now. So what do you got going, Fred?
TBA.
That's it. There he is. You got the information.
Finally. Well, let's see. Starting right out of the gate here, Bill and I, the Bill and Fred Excellent Adventure activity, we've been taking a break from our Sunday shows because we've been playing for a while. It was just time. So we're going to take a 6-week break. And then we have our first live gig at the Sunken Silo Brew Works in Lebanon, New Jersey, playing 5 to 8 p.m. to the public. It's a gig you can come to, social distance, wearing masks. It's outside. First outdoor gig of the year. Great place, great food. So that's going to be fun. And we're also going to have that on Facebook Live.
Cool. And what's the date of that? Saturday,
April 24th. And we are playing 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And you can find out more information about that at Bill and Fred's Excellent Adventure /Facebook page. And the other thing that is I wanted to mention the Weencast, Shane and Rory's podcast. This past week, Bill and I tell our conduit stories from 2702, and other people tell their stories, but we actually recorded ours and they play them. Plus, I made a little commercial for this show. So you and I are mentioned on there. And they play the opening theme song, your cheesesteaks and tasty cakes. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so we got that going for us. And we want to thank Shane and Rory for having us. And I look forward. I'm going to be actually starring in one of their shows soon. They asked me if I would be interested in doing the show Just Me. And I was like, yeah, sure, man. I could talk all day about shows, Ween shows, and all this other crazy stuff, whatever you guys want to know. So, within reason.
There is a limit. Okay, friends, thanks for tuning in to the second episodes of Birds, Bands, and Baloney with Pitz and Fred. I'm Pitz Quattrone.
And I'm Fred Moore.
And we thank you for tuning in, my friends. We'll talk with you next time.